Wild Boar Hunt in Turkey. Today, we take you deep into the wild terrain of Turkey for a thrilling wild boar hunt, where every step is unpredictable and every decision must be precise. The call came in urgently. Dozens of wild boars have been reported tearing through farmland, destroying crops, and threatening rural communities. Without hesitation, our team boarded a flight from the U.S. and joined local hunters in what would become a relentless pursuit. This wasn't just a hunt. It was an emergency operation demanding perfect preparation and lightning-fast responses. Drop a comment with the number 1 if you're ready to join us on this hunt. Every November, the farmlands of Denizli, Turkey come alive with the corn harvest. But this season, the usual joy was replaced by chaos. Night after night, wild boars invaded the fields, trampling and destroying months of labor in a matter of hours. Seeing the devastation, I knew I couldn't stand aside. Determined to help, I teamed up with seasoned hunters who had battled these animals before. Together, we planned a pursuit that would test our patience, skill, and endurance. This region is often called a paradise for wild boars, and it didn't take long to see why. Soon after setting out, movement caught our eyes. We cut off the animal's path with swift precision. From a steady position, I lined up my sights and pulled the trigger. At the same instant, my teammate's shot found its mark on another boar. In seconds, 2 beasts were down. A perfect double success. The energy surged through the entire team, fueling our determination for what was to come. Not long after, a shadow darted across the open field. We crouched low in the tall grass, holding our breath as the seconds stretched thin. Then came the moment. Before the boar could sense danger, gunshots cracked through the still air. It was over in an instant, the animal collapsing in the middle of the wide field. Have you ever gone wild boar hunting with a rifle? If yes, leave a comment with number 2. If not, leave number 3. Meanwhile, tension rose where Jay was hunting. A chase broke out, but with his steady hands and sharp instincts, he dropped his target cleanly and without hesitation. The dogs, always fierce and loyal, proved their worth yet again. From thick brush, they flushed out a massive boar that came charging straight toward us. Bold and fearless, it showed no sign of retreat. I raised my rifle, steadied my aim, and with one shot brought it down. The boars here are different. Stronger, braver, and often reckless enough to attack head-on. But we stayed calm, ready for every challenge. As the day stretched on, another sound caught our attention. From the far edge of the field came a rustling noise. Moments later, a boar burst out, desperate to escape. But there was no escape today. Crisp, decisive shots echoed across the farmland, and the beast fell where it stood. Soon after, word reached us of a herd hiding in a cornfield being harvested. We rushed in. What followed was sheer chaos. The boars erupted in every direction like a raging flood. Bullets tore through the air, the ground shook with the stampede, and the entire field turned into a battlefield. Yet in the frenzy, we managed to bring down only one. With so many still on the loose, one truth was clear. This hunt was far from over. We knew the fight against these fearless beasts would continue tomorrow. Wild boar crisis in Alligator, France. What you just witnessed was not a hunt for fame, trophies, or sport. It was a large-scale wild boar hunt born out of necessity. In central France, the Alligator region has been brought to its knees by an exploding wild boar population. This land is known for its endless grain farms, but in recent years the uncontrolled growth of boars has wreaked havoc on both agriculture and the environment. Fields are ripped apart, crops uprooted overnight, irrigation lines destroyed, and even greater danger looms: the spread of disease. By last October, the damage had become impossible to ignore. Local authorities turned to the hunting community for help, calling on sharpshooters to control the swelling population. I joined nearly 40 hunters in forming a united team, focused on Alligator, the very heart of the crisis where boar density was highest. To maximize our reach, we split into smaller groups. Each squad had 4 hunters, and 6 of us were assigned to cover the areas where boars most often moved. The plan required patience, silence, and sharp awareness. From behind a thick bush, movement suddenly caught my eye. A lone boar appeared, pausing to listen, as if sensing danger in the still air. Without hesitation, I steadied my aim, squeezed the trigger, and dropped it cleanly. That first success set the tone for the rest of the operation. Encouraged, we pushed forward, maintaining our ambush positions. It wasn't long before the ground trembled and branches cracked. The sound of a herd on the move. Moments later, a group of wild boars emerged from cover, charging across the fields, and the battle to protect Alia's farmlands truly began. Wild boar threat in Texas. Wild boars in Texas have become a dangerous menace, wreaking havoc across farmland and natural habitats. With millions roaming freely, they devastate crops, rip apart fields, and leave farmers facing heavy losses. As night falls, their destructive activity only increases. Without firm control measures, this threat will keep escalating, bringing unpredictable consequences. After receiving urgent reports from locals about a massive herd ravaging the land, we immediately set our sights on Texas. The state welcomed us with a breathtaking sunset stretching across vast fields. The view was calm and beautiful, yet beneath that serenity lurked an enemy. Cunning, colossal beasts ready to destroy everything in their path. To prepare for the night ahead, we armed ourselves with advanced gear. Darkness pressing on every side, but our thermal imaging system cut through the blackness like a blade. Every movement was tracked, every heat signature exposed. With steady hands, we waited for the perfect chance to strike. Moving into a nearby orchard, I scattered grain across an open patch of ground, setting the perfect trap for these greedy creatures. The smell drew them in quickly. Massive wild boars emerged from the shadows, their snouts buried in the dirt, savoring what they thought was a free feast. They had no idea they were already in our sights. A single, precise shot rang out, and the first boar collapsed instantly. The herd panicked, chaos erupting as they trampled one another in a desperate scramble to escape. But the hunt wasn't over. We kept on their trail, watching as they greedily lunged for more bait. With calm focus, I picked another target. Taking a slow breath, I pulled the trigger. The gunshot echoed through the night, and another beast fell. One by one, the boars dropped, each strike perfectly executed. Fueled by determination, we pressed forward into the night once more. Gripping our weapons tightly, we made a vow. This threat must end. Before us lay a scene of chaos. Wild boars tearing through fields, trampling crops like it was their rightful banquet. Each one was massive and brutish, their course for catching the moonlight, making them appear like shadows of the night. Their keen instincts and sharp senses wouldn't save them this time. We crouched low, silent, waiting for the moment to strike. Their nightmare was about to begin. I've been on many hunts, but never had I faced a herd so large and ferocious. Without hesitation, we took our positions. Gunshots rang out one after another. Boars fell, yet their overwhelming numbers meant we couldn't eliminate them all at once. We pushed forward relentlessly, refusing to let a single one escape. For every shot fired, another shadow crumpled into the dirt, but still more lingered in the darkness. At last, the largest of them appeared, the leader of the herd, massive and defiant. With one precise shot, it collapsed to the ground, sending the rest scattering in panic. Their hopes of survival vanished in an instant. More shots echoed across the field, leaving only silence and dark shapes lying motionless in the soil. The battle against these stubborn invaders was hard fought, but necessary. This was the price of protecting Texas farmlands from a relentless enemy. Thank you for watching this hunt to the end. Support our channel with a like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. Giraffe hunting and conservation. Giraffes are fascinating creatures, displaying unique behaviors and living in flexible herds that can range from only a few individuals to more than 20. Their social structure constantly shifts, creating a dynamic rhythm of life on the savanna. Today, it is estimated that around 68,000 giraffes roam the wild. Encouragingly, recent years have shown signs of growth in their population. This recovery reflects the success of conservation and management efforts, offering hope for the future and highlighting the real impact of dedicated wildlife protection initiatives. Yet, despite these positive signs, some regions face difficult choices. In certain areas, authorities authorize controlled giraffe hunting, not for trophies alone, but as a means of keeping populations balanced within capacity of the land. Overpopulation can strain food sources, damage fragile habitats, and increase the risk of conflict with human communities. These hunts are strictly regulated, allowed only within defined time frames and under careful guidelines to ensure that giraffe numbers remain healthy and sustainable. Do you agree with this method of population control? If yes, give this video a like. If not, leave a comment with number 5. Hunting giraffes with bows and arrows brings another dimension entirely. This method demands skill, patience, and deep awareness of the animal's behavior. It forces hunters to move slowly, immerse themselves in the environment, and rely on precision rather than sheer force. Some hunters argue that this style promotes respect for the animal because it requires discipline and focus. But there are ethical questions as well. A poorly placed shot can lead to prolonged suffering, and if the hunt is not conducted responsibly, the animal's welfare is at risk. For this reason, regulations must always prioritize humane practices, ensuring that respect and responsibility guide every action. Understanding giraffe behavior and practicing safe techniques are vital for any hunt. Giraffes are immense and powerful animals, and a careless mistake can quickly turn dangerous. Hunters must plan carefully, staying hidden, remaining quiet, and judging the right distance to shoot. Safety extends beyond the animal too, as keeping clear lines of fire is fundamental to prevent accidents among hunters. Preparation, awareness, and respect form the foundation of both safe and ethical hunting. Minimizing suffering is a crucial part of ethical practice. Hunters must study giraffe anatomy, focusing on vital areas where a clean, humane shot ensures the animal does not endure prolonged pain. A precise strike to the chest or neck can bring a swift end. Success in this respect depends on the hunter's preparation, accuracy, and commitment to treating the animal with dignity. A responsible hunt, when conducted correctly, reflects a balance between tradition, challenge, and respect for wildlife. But hunting is not the only solution. Long-term conservation depends on humane and sustainable approaches that protect both giraffes and the ecosystems they inhabit. Habitat restoration, anti-poaching patrols, and community education remain vital. Ecotourism provides powerful incentives for local communities, transforming giraffes into a source of economic opportunity worth protecting. By focusing on welfare, conservation, and coexistence, we build a future where humans and giraffes thrive side by side. Thank you for exploring this perspective with us. By supporting responsible management and sustainable practices, we can ensure giraffes remain a symbol of grace across the African plains. I look forward to sharing more stories with you in the next video. Monkey hunting in South Africa. Hello, everyone. Across the world, farmers face a growing crisis as millions of monkeys threaten cities, farmland, and livelihoods, causing billions of dollars in damage. But what could possibly drive ordinary farmers to launch large-scale hunts against such intelligent animals? Leave a comment with the number 1 to discover the answer in this video. Why are farmers hunting millions of monkeys? Despite their intelligence, monkeys can quickly turn into a farmer's worst nightmare. For years, they have raided fields, stripping crops, and leaving devastating financial losses in their wake. In South Africa's Cape Peninsula, it is estimated that farmers lose nearly 40% of their crops to monkey invasions, including valuable vineyards and cornfields. In some regions, it is not unusual to wake up and find an entire harvest destroyed overnight. Faced with this destruction, the first instinct is often to hunt or trap. These remain the most widely used methods today, but they come with serious risks. Hunters often lack proper training or protective gear, leaving themselves vulnerable to injury. Adding to the complexity is the law itself. In many areas, monkeys are protected under South Africa's National Environmental Management Biodiversity Act, meaning farmers need a special permit to take action against invasive populations. To reduce danger, strict guidelines dictate how hunts must be carried out. Hunters are never advised to work alone. Safety comes in numbers, with hunting teams usually made up of 3 to 5 individuals. Each team member must be trained in monkey behavior and equipped with bite-proof suits, reinforced gloves, and protective helmets. These measures are not only essential for safety, but also ensure hunts are conducted responsibly. When hunts are authorized, high-power rifles are the weapons of choice. Calibers such as a .223 Remington or .308 Winchester provide the accuracy and stopping power needed to dispatch monkeys at a safe distance. These firearms are chosen both for hunter protection and to meet legal requirements. Do you agree with this method endorsed by the South African government? If so, leave a comment with the number 2. As a farmer myself, I have witnessed a shift in government policy firsthand. Around 2020, reliance on risky hunting trips began to fade as new methods emerged. One solution is a raised platform built from bamboo and steel, costing around $1,200 to $1,500 US. From these platforms, hunters can track and scare off invading troops, reducing the need for costly hunts. Alongside this, monkey traps have become a crucial part of the defense strategy. The pressure during these hunts is intense. Farmers rely on wire cage traps, and hunters know that every moment matters. If they fail, the monkeys return swiftly to strip the fields bare. Yet, the most heated debate revolves around trap placement. Some argue for positioning traps at the farm's edge to intercept raiders early, while others warn that doing so risks catching unintended animals, such as wild boars. The use of bait, often corn or fruit, to lure monkeys into traps has sparked outrage as well. Critics argue it endangers other wildlife, raising ethical questions. And beyond ethics, the law is clear. Hunting or trapping monkeys without a valid permit is illegal, carrying harsh penalties. Fines up to $1,000 US or even 7 years in prison. Furthermore, hunting is only permitted in designated areas, and breaching these rules can have serious consequences. If you know where such areas apply, share them in the comments below. As challenges continue, many farmers are calling for greater government support. Subsidies for humane technologies like motion sensor alarms and GPS tracking devices could make a difference, reducing dependence on lethal hunts and providing smarter, safer ways to protect crops. The key lies in finding balance. Should we rely on hunting, or should we invest in innovative systems that allow both farmers and wildlife to survive? In conclusion, the question remains, how do we balance the survival of farmers with the presence of invasive species? What do you think? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more insights into this pressing issue. Stay tuned for future updates. Invasive predators in America, black bears, red foxes, and wild boars. American farmers are waging a relentless battle against invasive predators, and the stakes could not be higher. In Alaska, black bears tear through cornfields, leaving behind losses of up to $20,000 each season. The real nightmare, however, begins when these giants wander into towns, breaking into homes in search of food. Imagine waking up to find a bear rummaging through your kitchen. This is not a rare event. Leave a comment with the number 1 if you'd survive such a situation. Red foxes pose an equally dangerous threat. Agile and cunning, they scale fences with ease, wiping out entire poultry farms in a single night. Beyond that, they are carriers of diseases capable of endangering both livestock and people. But the greatest agricultural enemy of all remains the wild boar. In South Carolina alone, these invasive beasts cause more than $12.6 million in agricultural losses each year. In Alaska, their destruction has exceeded $15 million annually, forcing the government to intervene with strict control measures. For now, firearms remain the first line of defense. Every hunter must follow regulations laid out by the Alaska Wildlife Department. As winter nears, black bears grow bolder, driven by their instinct to pack on fat before hibernation. They roam farther, searching aggressively for food. This makes them easy to spot, but far more unpredictable. With an estimated 700,000 to 800,000 black bears across Alaska, the annual hunting quota ranges from 8 to 12 per season, depending on population levels and environmental pressures. Hunting in Alaska's wilderness is no simple task. Patience and strategy are critical. Hunters rely on wind direction and terrain to stay hidden from sharp bear senses. With roughly 200,000 black bears under management programs, numbers have been kept under tighter control. Yet firearms remain controversial. While effective, some argue their increased use raises risks. Others call for alternative solutions, including habitat management and community education. But for farmers and hunters on the front lines, hesitation is not an option. As winter settles in and bear activity slows, a new threat emerges: red foxes. Quick, ruthless, and clever, they target poultry flocks relentlessly. Hunters often turn precision rifles like the Remington 700, valued for its accuracy at long range. The silence of night is shattered by a gunshot. The fox darts across the empty field, and tension spikes. Every second matters in this chase. Have you ever hunted red foxes? If so, leave a comment with the number 2. If not, leave a comment with the number 5. Hunts demand more than marksmanship. They require patience, preparation, and respect for the environment. Each shot carries a responsibility. Another fox falls, and the lesson is clear. Precision and discipline decide the outcome. Got him. Heck of a shot. Alongside rifles, electronic predator callers are an essential tool. These devices mimic the distress cries of small prey, luring foxes out of hiding. Designed through extensive research, they increase effectiveness while keeping hunters at a safe distance. Further south, in the dense forests and sweeping grasslands of South Carolina, wild boar hunts test the limits of endurance. These animals are strong, fast, and dangerously territorial. Hunters must maintain sharp focus and often need near-perfect vision to spot them from as far as 400 feet away. The season runs from July 1st to February 28th, sometimes extending into March and April in select regions. In fall and winter, boars grow more aggressive, their hunger driving them closer to farmland and into conflict with hunters. The climate itself adds to the danger. Sweltering summers bring heat stroke and dehydration, while icy winters threaten frostbite. That is why wild boar hunters rarely go alone. Safety depends on teamwork. Every step through the brush could mean an ambush, and every successful hunt comes down to preparation and trust in your companions. One mistake could turn a chase into a deadly encounter. Hunting invasive predators in America is more than a job. It's survival. Against brutal weather, hostile terrain, and ferocious prey, every hunter must summon courage, discipline, and resilience. But here's the real question. Would you dare face a 300-pound wild boar charging straight at you? Share your answer in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe to join us for more stories of life on the front lines of the wilderness. California wildfires and wildlife impact. Did you know about the devastating wildfire that recently tore through California? On January 7th, 2025, the Palisades fire erupted near Los Angeles. Fueled by Santa Ana winds gusting up to 70 miles per hour, the flames swept across more than 23,000 acres, burning from Pacific Palisades into the Santa Monica Mountains. Want to learn how these wildfires impact California's wildlife? Leave a comment with the number 1 and follow along in this video. Over 700 firefighters from across California and neighboring states battled the inferno for more than a week. Extreme weather made their work dangerous and exhausting. The fire destroyed over 12,300 structures, including homes, schools, and businesses, forcing nearly 1,500 people to evacuate. With damages estimated at more than $50 billion, the Palisades fire may go down as the costliest wildfire in California's history. But what caused it? Officials point to a combination of natural conditions and human activity. California's severe drought played a major role. 83% of the Los Angeles area is currently in drought, with some regions seeing no rainfall since April of last year. The dry vegetation became perfect fuel for ignition. On top of this, invasive plants such as cheatgrass have spread widely. Cheatgrass grows quickly, dries out faster than native plants, and ignites with explosive intensity, helping fires spread at record speeds. The flames didn't just consume homes and land. They threatened animals too. In Altadena, California, the fire swept across 200 acres in only a few hours, trapping horses in local farms. Residents and volunteers rushed in with trailers and trucks to rescue them. One woman recalled how she scrambled together a team to evacuate 12 horses before the flames closed in. But strong winds, choking smoke, and flying embers made every rescue a race against time. Leave a comment with the number 2 if you support the efforts of these incredible rescue teams. Saving the horses became the top priority as the fire spread. Trained crews moved them quickly with specialized equipment. while authorities urged inexperienced helpers to evacuate so they wouldn't put themselves or the animals at further risk. This moment served as a powerful reminder of how critical it is to have an emergency plan for both humans and animals in fire-prone areas. Tragically, not every animal could be saved. In just 24 hours, more than 400 wild animals were killed by the flames. Volunteers and wildlife experts on the scene even discovered a badly burned koala, which was taken to a hospital for treatment. The Los Angeles region, once home to a variety of wildlife, including species like kangaroos and koalas that had adapted to the environment, saw habitats destroyed in an instant, leaving little chance of escape for many creatures. If you ever encounter wildlife during a fire, knowing how to act can make the difference between life and death. First, provide water immediately. Hydration is far more critical than food when an animal is suffering from heat stress and dehydration. Stay calm, avoid rough handling, and contact a rescue team right away. These animals have nowhere else to go, and in times like these, it becomes our duty to protect them. The Palisades fire is a painful lesson. We must prepare not just for our own safety, but also for the survival of the creatures that share our land. Every citizen can play a part by practicing fire safety, supporting conservation efforts, and helping restore burned forests. How do you think California can rebuild after such devastation? Share your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates on how we can protect both people and wildlife from the growing threat of wildfires. Alligator hunting in Louisiana. Ravenwood, a small village deep in the wetlands of Louisiana, is surrounded by endless swamps. When flood season hits, rising waters force alligators out hiding and into the edges of town. Locals have long shared stories of giant gators lurking in the wetlands and even attacking people. But how much truth lies behind these tales? If you want to find out, leave a comment with the number 1 to continue this story. The Ravenwood wetlands stretch across more than 100 square miles and are home to nearly 10,000 alligators. During flood season, some grow up to 18 feet in length and can weigh more than a ton. Each year, villagers attempt to protect their homes and farmland by building underwater fences. But the combined force of the floodwaters and the raw power of the gators often bends and breaks these defenses, leaving the community exposed. After a series of attacks in the 1980s, local authorities, biologists, and hunters decided to act. They discovered that floodwaters created perfect feeding grounds, drawing in large numbers of gators. To reduce the danger, the community introduced a regulated alligator hunt, combining trapping and hunting to manage the population. While the hunts helped lessen immediate threats, they also raised questions. Could this effort ever truly control Louisiana's booming alligator numbers? The hunt begins with a rumble of swamp-ready vehicles cutting through murky waters. By law, hunters must be at least 18 years old, and they face extreme conditions navigating swamps filled with predators. These are no ordinary targets. Alligators can reach 18 feet and deliver a jaw-crushing bite with more than 3,700 pounds of pressure per square inch. Inexperienced hunters risk their lives by underestimating their prey. For this reason, each hunt requires a team of at least 5 people. Reinforced traps are set to catch the gators, and ropes are used to secure them once they're hooked. But even these methods can fail if the animal thrashes violently. Have you ever tried this method? Leave a comment with the number 2 if yes, or 0 if no. To avoid deadly encounters, hunters must study alligator behavior. Gators rely on stealth, attacking from below with explosive speed. Understanding this ambush style is crucial to staying safe. Once captured, hunters cover the animal's eyes to calm it and clamp its jaws shut to prevent any chance of attack. Every successful capture is not just a victory for the hunters. It's a step toward controlling a dangerous population threatening Louisiana communities. Alligator hunting in the U.S. has changed over time. In the mid-19th century, trapping gave way to firearms. Today, hunting is tightly regulated by the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. In Texas, for example, hunters may use rifles of at least .38 caliber under strict quotas, while Florida's Fish and Wildlife Commission enforces precise methods to ensure humane and sustainable harvesting. Hunters are trained to aim carefully at the neck rather than the skull, both for safety and for preserving usable skins. Safety remains paramount. Hunters are warned never to approach a gator carelessly, as even wounded animals can lash out. Breaking hunting laws can bring severe penalties. In Louisiana, warning signs are also posted in flood-prone areas during rainy seasons, urging locals to stay clear of waters where alligator activity increases near homes. When the hunt is over, the gators are not wasted. Meat is often distributed to families in need, providing valuable nutrition and turning a serious threat into an opportunity to support those struggling with food insecurity. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to help us continue sharing stories about wildlife, conservation, and survival in the wild. Wolf hunting in Montana. While Louisiana residents face the threat of alligators, another predator challenges communities in the northern and western United States: wolves. In Montana, these carnivores have devastated livestock, especially sheep, inflicting heavy economic losses. In 2021 alone, farmers reported massive damages, with more than 80% of attacks occurring under the cover of night. That same year, scientists estimated that over 20,000 wolves were born, intensifying the crisis. Want to know how Montana ranchers are fighting back? If you're ready, leave a comment with the number 1. Female wolves raising pups require steady sources of food, but with natural prey declining, livestock have become their target. Wolves hunt in coordinated packs, using teamwork and strategy to overwhelm their victims. Their growls and howls signal the beginning of an attack, a sound that ranchers know all too well. These behaviors have reshaped cattle and sheep farming across Montana, leaving families searching for solutions. For generations, ranchers relied on guard dogs to protect their herds. But as wolf numbers increased, even the best-trained dogs proved ineffective. Driven by the need to feed their young, female wolves have become relentless. This cycle of survival now poses a direct threat to ranchers' livelihoods. The question remains, how can humans fight back against such an instinctive force of nature? One of the primary solutions has been regulated hunting. To take part, hunters must first secure a permit through the Montana Fish, Wildlife, and Parks Department. Once approved, they can purchase suitable firearms from licensed dealers like Bass Pro Shops. With a permit in hand, preparation begins, setting traps and planning the hunt. Trapping wolves requires skill and precision. Hunters typically select a stable platform such as a trail, then clear snow and use an axe to carve a snug hole for an MB750 trap. A 10-foot chain is anchored to a tree or heavy object to limit the wolf's movement. The trap is carefully placed with steady pressure, then camouflaged with soft snow to blend seamlessly with the surroundings. Wolves are cautious and intelligent, quick to sense human interference. For that reason, hunters must check traps at least twice a day to ensure success. A single mistake could allow the predator to escape back into the wild. Collecting a trapped wolf is a dangerous task. These traps are designed to snap shut quickly, so hunters must stay alert and work methodically. Despite the risks, these measures have helped Montana maintain balance. State regulations usually allow between 200 and 400 wolves to be hunted annually, primarily between January and March, ensuring the population remains within safe limits. Elsewhere, in regions like Alaska and the Pacific Northwest, a different challenge has emerged: the illegal trade in counterfeit wolf pelts. Genuine wolf fur, used in luxury clothing and accessories, is highly valuable, but fake pelts flooding the market threaten conservation efforts and disrupt the economy. To combat this, hunters are often required to report their harvest directly to state authorities, ensuring authenticity and transparency. In Montana, wolf hunting remains both a necessity and a responsibility. For ranchers, it is not just about protecting their herds. It is about preserving their way of life. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to support us as we share more stories about wildlife, survival, and human resilience.